Someone leans across the table, drops their voice to a hush, and asks, "Can I tell you something?" Your attention snaps into focus. You lean in. The pull of a forbidden secret is almost impossible to resist. In this exchange, the target of the gossip is often irrelevant. The act of whispering serves as a data leak, where the speaker unknowingly reveals their own internal pressures and social strategies, rather than providing factual insight into someone else. This is a form of information-based status seeking. When an individual feels overlooked or powerless in their daily environment, acquiring and distributing restricted information provides them with immediate social currency and a manufactured sense of authority. The urge to gossip also functions as an emotional displacement mechanism. By fixating on the perceived failures of another person, the speaker creates a temporary psychological distraction from their own unmanaged anxieties.
Chronic gossiping overlaps with the broader behavior of an emotionally draining friend. Both roles extract your mental and emotional resources to fill an internal void that the speaker cannot resolve independently. This extraction often takes the form of conversational narcissism. Driven by an intense need for validation, the speaker hijacks every discussion to focus on their own experiences, forcing you into the role of a passive, unpaid therapist. You see this in friends who engage in chronic venting, sharing the same problems week after week while rejecting every solution. They aren't seeking a resolution. They are using the interaction as a place to dump emotional weight. Tolerating this narcissism leaves both parties trapped. You end the interaction feeling depleted, while the draining friend remains stuck in a loop of counterfeit connection that never addresses their underlying distress. Breaking away from these social loops requires understanding the brain's internal reward system, which prioritizes immediate comfort over long-term health. Sharing a secret triggers a release of oxytocin, the same chemical creating a mother-child bond, providing an immediate sensation of intimacy. By connecting two people to exclude a third, the brain executes an evolutionary hack, manufacturing in-group solidarity by identifying a common enemy. Because the brain associates sharing secrets with this biological reward, you might find yourself returning to these draining interactions, repeatedly trading your long-term emotional energy for a few seconds of simulated connection. A bond that requires a third-party target to feel secure is inherently unstable. You aren't building authentic trust. You are maintaining a chemical dependency that collapses as soon as there is no one left to talk about. Once established, cognitive biases protect this loop, causing participants to ignore logical contradictions to keep the narrative alive. Observe this filter. It selectively captures information reinforcing the rumor, while evidence contradicting the narrative is immediately deflected. The brain relies on these shortcuts to reduce processing effort. Over time, the filter solidifies into an echo chamber, completely sealed from objective facts. These shortcuts cause the listener to view the target as a one-dimensional stereotype. Individual nuance is stripped away until only a single negative caricature remains. This reliance on biased filtering prevents any genuine interpersonal growth. Choosing the safety of a rumor over the complexity of truth leaves both the gossiper and the listener trapped in a distorted version of reality. Toxic social circuits only survive through automatic participation. Breaking the loop requires shifting from reactive impulses to conscious internal regulation. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, provides the tools for this shift. It focuses on dismantling the links between automatic thoughts and the behaviors that follow them. One primary technique is known as cognitive restructuring. When an urge to repeat a rumor surfaces, you actively intercept the thought and interrogate its validity before it can be vocalized. By pausing to ask if a rumor is objectively true, you force your brain out of its chemically driven state and engage the prefrontal cortex to take control of the situation. Internal regulation must be matched by external behavioral changes to effectively manage those who rely on your emotional energy. The gray rock method is a strategy for becoming totally emotionally flat and unreactive. Like a stone remaining unaffected by a crashing wave, you deny the manipulator the drama they need to feel relevant. By enforcing calm, consistent boundaries without negotiation, you permanently starve the narcissist of their emotional fuel. When you stop providing the reaction they crave, they eventually move on to an easier target. Through these cognitive and behavioral defenses, you trade the temporary rush of a rumor for a state of steady, self-directed regulation.